I call this meeting to order. If you would please stand with me as we have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We welcome you all here today, and this is to discuss our advanced ed exit report. At this time, I'd like to call on Mr. McDowell.
Okay. I went to get your water and almost missed time. Thank you for coming today, and we appreciate everybody being here. I welcome our team here today, and it's been an interesting week, a great week, and we appreciate you being here. There's lots of people that I could thank and all the things that happened. But Dr. Garner and the board, we appreciate the work that you do in supporting us. We thank the principals and administrators. For a year and a half, you've been working on this with teachers, and it's been a great process, really a good staff development too. As far as our DO staff, administrators, cabinet, you've been great. And I really can't, I don't like to call out people or names, but Dr. Mathis, you've done an excellent work on this particular job, and we do appreciate the work you've done. But again, at this time, Dr. Pruitt, Dr. Henry. Okay, Dr. Henry, you can come forward and tell us our results. So we do appreciate the work you've done. Just give him a hand.
Well, first of all, good afternoon. I am Dr. Michael Henry, and I have served as the lead evaluator for the best school district on planet Earth. And I hail from Springfield, Oregon, where I serve as the Director of Human Resources, and I'm going to allow our other team members to introduce themselves. Starting in any order.
Good afternoon. My name is Yolanda McCants. I'm the School Improvement Specialist for Anniston City Schools in Anniston, Alabama.
Hello, my name is Greg Wachensky. I'm Principal of Carolina Springs Elementary School in Lexington 1 in Lexington, South Carolina.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. LaShonda Evans. I'm an assistant principal at Union Middle School in Richland School District 1, which is in Columbia, South Carolina.
I'm Aileen Summers, and I'm going back to Portland, Oregon, and I'm going to tell them Southern hospitality is the real deal.
This has been an excellent external review team. We have bridged north and south together, and we've come up with a product that you will be smiling at in the next 20 minutes. We have a very special guest with us today. We have Dr. Terry Pruitt. I think he serves on the AdvancED South Carolina Council, and he's coming to give you words of expression.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Gardner, ladies and gentlemen of the board, it's a pleasure to be here representing the South Carolina State AdvancED Council. I'm looking forward to the report after that comment about the best school district on the planet. It's going to be great. I'm in District 7. But I'm certainly glad to be here today. I'm looking forward to the report. I'd like to thank the team on behalf of our council for your service. I was just on the team in Lexington 1, as a matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago. It's a lot of work. And also congratulations to you, your staff here in District 1 for your hard work, because this just does not happen without a lot of preparation, and I know you're in for a great afternoon and a good report. Thank you again. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. We have been here for the last 3.5 days, and we have been up relatively late, and we have debriefed, and we have not reached consensus on some things and reached consensus on others, and so now we're going to share with you kind of a little bit about the process. What is your mission? We visited all of your schools, and we talked to several stakeholders, and we'll tell you how many we spoke to, and the loud and clear message that kept coming across was that you're student-centered. When we talk to stakeholders, every stakeholder group mentions family and student-centered. So I don't know whether you all have rehearsed that, but I know you didn't rehearse it because we saw it permeate through the fabric of your district. Just to tell you a little bit about AdvancED. AdvancED is the largest educational community in the world. We accredit schools, public schools, and private schools, and parochial schools across the world, 32,000, and we represent 20 million students. So that's 36 states in 70 countries across the world. That's all of the Department of Defense schools. And so you're part of the largest educational community in the world. Accreditation is a protocol, a systemic protocol, an international protocol that we use. If you have a powerful school improvement process, accreditation, I call them first cousins. They kind of go together. And so if your school improvement efforts are strong, you just look at accreditation just an extension of what you're doing from a school improvement standpoint. And so this process builds capacity to sustain student learning, and it improves effectiveness throughout the system. We're going to speak to you regarding 3 domains. How many people worked on teaching and learning standard 3 and 5? Where's our standard 3 and 5, folks? Yes. Teaching and learning comes under standard, under this domain, teaching and learning. And that would be, standard 3 would be the teaching and learning component, and continuous improvement in the standard 5. Standard 1 and 2 is capacity of leadership. That's the governance and leadership model, and also that's purpose and direction. And standard 4 focuses on resources. So that's your technology, that's your HR, that's your special ed, that's guidance, that's all of those support, maintenance, all of those support services go under standard 4. And so today we're going to leave you with powerful practices. Those are the things that you're doing really, really well. And we're also going to leave you an opportunity for improvement. That's a recommendation that if you employ that, you can go to the next dimension. And we'll leave you with an improvement priority, and that's something that you must address, and you must show evidence that you've addressed those improvement priorities. And we'll also share with you an index of educational quality. You're going to get a score today in regard to all of the ratings and all the Elliots and all the ratings and student performance and stakeholder feedback. And then we're going to tell you whether or not we recommend you for accreditation. We talked to almost 300 of your stakeholders, 1 superintendent, 8 board members. We talked to 30 administrators, 122 of your structural staff we interviewed, 11 support staff, 20 parents and community members, and we spoke to 103 students in Spartanburg 1 for a total of 294 stakeholders. So we didn't get 5 people in the back room and ask them what do we need to write. We began to look at trends and patterns throughout your district in regard to what your stakeholders feel about your district. So basically, we're telling you kind of what you already know. When you begin to look at teaching and learning, we began to look at student performance results and the quality of the instructional program, and also that includes college and career readiness data and other data. Leadership capacity, that governance model, how we govern, how to govern. When I think of 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3, that talks about the governing board. And when I think of 2.4 through 2.6, that's leadership at all levels of the organization or the system. So we begin to rate where you all are on the continuum for leadership capacity. And standard 1 focuses on purpose and direction, and that it talks about how your purpose and direction is aligned to that instructional program. So we'll be giving you ratings on that today too. Resource utilization, how you're using your resources. And in this era of fiscal stewardship, the state's not giving districts more and more and more money. Would you agree? So it's like, what are you doing with what you're getting? And so we'll give you a rating on how you rate in that particular area and how you're allocating those resources. All right, this is a time to celebrate in Spartanburg 1. You see that AEN, that's the Advanced Network Average for these particular environments. So The AEN that's the rating for all of your peers that went through this process last year. And so as you can see in all of these environments, you are moderately and slightly above in all of these areas. No, I would say moderately above. And equitable, 2.78 is for Spartanburg, where it says external review, those are your ratings, and A and E are your peers. So you've outranked your peers in every area, and you're right at the cusp in high expectations at a 2.76, and the network average is 2.80. Let's note well-managed environment. I think that's the area, and especially for progress monitoring, those are areas where you all really outranked all of your peers. But digital, you all have a one-to-one initiative, and in that one-to-one initiative, it's not just having the devices, but how you're using the devices. Because we can go in a classroom, and if the teacher didn't use, if the students are not using the technology, we're still at a 1. If the students are using the technology, we need to ask the question how they're using the technology. Because they could be using the technology, but they could be on Facebook or YouTube. So you're still kind of at a 1. But how you're using it, for you all to get a 231, that's significantly above your peers, so that this team is telling you that you have technology and you're using it appropriately. That is a perfect time to put your little hands together. All right, powerful practices. These are your powerful practices. Powerful practice 1.3 and 2.4, they're related. When you see them connected, that means they're related. They're kind of in the same family. And in that family is talking about consistent culture. System leadership and administrative staff foster a culture consistent with supporting the system's purpose and direction. Stakeholder after stakeholder after stakeholder enunciated over and over again regarding the culture. And all of our team members begin to ask the culture question. And you all remember me saying, on the continuum of 0 and 10, 10 is a place, an awesome place to be, and 0 is a place you never want to be. Where are you on the culture continuum? And it relates to morale. What numbers do you think we heard more and more on that continuum? Would anybody like to take a guess? We heard a lot of 9s. Yesterday,
100.
10, yeah. Yeah, one lady was like, she was out 3 digits. I can't do it anymore. But the lowest number we got was one person said a 7, and when everybody else said an 8 or 9, she bumped hers up. Hence, this powerful practice. But it's permeated through everything that we do in Spartan. Everything that, did I say we? Powerful practice 2.2 and 2.3. This relates to the governance model. Board members, this is the time to stick your chest out. The governing body of Spartanburg 1 operates responsibly and ensures leadership at all levels, has the autonomy to meet instructional goals and manage the day-to-day operations. When we began to ask stakeholders at the school level, stakeholders at the district level, and we interviewed the board members and asked them poignant questions, what we did, we got together and said, now we're going to ask all of them the same question, and then we're going to come back and see and compare the responses. And they were not trick questions, but they were just questions regarding, I like to talk about people playing in their sandbox. And the board has a sandbox called policy, and the superintendent has a sandbox called personnel. They kind of shouldn't meet unless you're going to hire Dr. Henry and he has a record or has done something he shouldn't, and board members like, no, y'all might want to look at that because some moral turpitude's going there or something. Other than that, we normally recommend the personnel and we don't get it. And so you all stay in your sandbox. So board members. And the only thing I would suggest is you continue to stay in that sandbox and explore that sand all over yourself. Powerful practice 4.1. System leadership demonstrates a clearly defined process of recruiting, hiring, and retaining qualified professional and support staff. It appears when people come to Spartanburg 1, they get stuck in the honey. and they stay, and they just don't leave because, I mean, husband gets a job in another part of the country, we understand that. But people, you all retain your staff and your recruiting efforts. You're increasing your minority recruitment, and so we identify this as a powerful practice. You can feel the spirits that time here. Powerful practice 4.2. Spartanburg 1 has demonstrated a high level of commitment and fiscal stewardship in securing the necessary resources to meet the needs of all students. The finances that you get, you're effective stewards of that, and it's evident in your one-to-one initiative, and you're just not throwing away money, and that's worthy of celebration. Powerful practice 4.6. Spartanburg 1 provides a sustained and responsive technology infrastructure with equipment to support teaching, learning, and operational needs of all students and staff. Your one-to-one infrastructure, you rolled out, I think it was 3 through 12 with the one-to-one, and now you're going through the K through 12. That is worthy of, and this correlates to your Elliott High score. So you know you got the technology, you're using it appropriately, and we saw evidence of that throughout the system, hence the powerful practice in 4.6. We have one opportunity for improvement in 3.5, review current system practices to develop a strong and verifiable protocol for sharing and maximizing best practices for curriculum, instruction, and assessment to increase success for all students. When we begin to look through the lens of systems accreditation, we look through the lens of, we ask ourselves 3 questions. Is it formalized? That means is it documented? Is it sustained over an ongoing period of time? And is it systemic across the system? And so we saw this in pockets throughout your system, but developing a formalized protocol of developing and sharing best practices, that's a recommendation that we share with you at this time. And you have one improvement priority. I've been places where you know how many powerful practices you all have? That's how many improvement priorities. So that's celebratory time. Develop coordinated methods across the system to monitor and adjust curriculum, instruction, and assessment practices in response to performance data to ensure success for every student. That ties to the improvement priority, that formalized practice of adjusting curriculum, monitoring that, and sharing the feedback of those observations and those methods. And so that ties into the opportunity for improvement in 3.5. All right, our conclusions, we're getting down to, let's talk about the IEQ. Those are your IEQ scores. So you had an overall score of 311.71. And you see teaching and learning is 295.24. Knocked it out of the park in leadership capacity, 333.33. And your resource utilization at 322.50. So down here, what do those numbers mean? Well, let's compare it to your peers. All right, the advanced network average. Just to kind of marinate on that a little bit. You're significantly above, your overall score is significantly above. In teaching and learning impact, you're in the 300s in all of those, so the focus would be in the, Ms. McCants is flying back. See you later, Ms. McCants. And so you see the focus would be in teaching and learning to bring that up in those formalized, systemic, and sustained processes. And leadership capacity, you're significant. I'm going to enjoy writing this report, because I'm going to say they're significantly above the network average. And in resource utilization, where your powerful practices live, you see that you're significantly above there also. All right. Hence, Spartanburg 1 is making application for re-accreditation. You can tell I work in HR. Reaccreditation to become a part of a worldwide network of 32,000 public and private schools and school systems. You're not being examined just within the context of public and private schools in the state of South Carolina. However, you're actually being challenging yourself to be analyzed on a world stage. More importantly, you're looking at yourselves in comparison to schools across the world. The IEQ results indicate that you're performing within acceptable ranges. This external review team recommends to the AdvancED Accreditation Commission that Spartanburg 1 has earned the distinction of accreditation by AdvancED Sachs Casey for a 5-year term that will expire June 30th, 2022. At this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Greg Wachinski to share with you a few expressions at this time.
Sure. On behalf of our team, I just want to thank you all for your hospitality during our time here. I've been on a number of these visits, and this is a top-notch place. You took care of us from the moment we got in town. The first dinner we had with the board was outstanding, and all the accommodations were excellent. The gift basket, everything you did for us was awesome. So a special thanks. I know Mr. McDowell. I know he told me he was retiring. What he didn't want me to tell you in the car yesterday, he said he really hopes he's invited back for the next visit. So it was just the two of us in the car, so his word against mine. But really, on behalf of the team, thank you very much. It's a great place to be. We've really enjoyed our time here, and thanks for taking such good care of us.
Thank you, Mr. Wachinski. Now, Mr. McDowell told me in the next 5 years, he would like to consult at no charge and walk you all through this process. Now, that's my word, and I'm sticking to it. All right. At this time, Mr. Pryor, I think we have something the team would like to share. Greetings, Spartanburg 1. I'm Dr. Michael Henry, and I serve as the lead evaluator for this external review team. I hail from Springfield, Oregon, where I serve as the Director of Human Resources for the Springfield Public School District. I'm going to allow my other team members to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Tammy Henley. I'm a principal at a magnet school in Richmond County, Georgia, home of the Masters.
Hi, I'm Dr. LaShonda Evans. I am from Columbia, South Carolina, and am the assistant principal at Hand Middle School in Richland School District 1.
Hi, I'm Yolanda McCants. I'm the School Improvement Specialist for Anniston City Schools.
Hello, my name is Greg Wachinski. I'm principal at Carolina Springs Elementary School in Lexington District 1, Lexington, South Carolina.
And I am Aylin Summers, and I'm also from Oregon, and I work in the North Clackamas School District with alternative ed students.
We pause to formally thank you for all of the hospitality that you've shown us during this external review. On a personal note, we wish to thank Dr. Garner and Mr. McDowell for all of their acts of kindness and to support us during this external review. Once again, thank you so much. At this time, I'd like to share some closing thoughts with you. There once was a pretty good student who sat in a pretty good class and was taught by a pretty good teacher who always let pretty good pass. He wasn't terrific at reading, he wasn't a whiz-bang at math, but for him, education was leading straight down a pretty good path. He didn't find school too exciting, but he wanted to do pretty well, and he did have some trouble with writing since nobody taught him to spell. The pretty good student, in fact, was part of a pretty good mob. And the first time he knew what he lacked was when he looked for a pretty good job. It was then when he sought a position, he discovered that life could be tough. He soon had a sneaking suspicion pretty good might not be enough. The pretty good town in our story was part of a pretty good state. which had pretty good aspirations and prayed for a pretty good fate. When doing arithmetic problems, pretty good was regarded as fine. 5 plus 5 needn't always add up to 10. A pretty good answer was 9. The pretty good class that he sat in was part of a pretty good school. And the student wasn't an exception. On the contrary, he was the rule. The pretty good school that he went to was there in a pretty good town. And nobody there seemed to notice that he could not tell a verb from a noun. There once was a pretty good notion, pretty proud of the greatness it had, which learned much too late. If you want to be great, pretty good is, in fact, pretty bad. That is the non-example of what Spartanburg 1 is. You're not pretty good, you're moving from great to greatness. And with this, I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Henry. I want to just say thank you, AdvancED team, for coming and seeing us. But I want to thank everybody else that's sitting in this room, because you're the ones that make this all work, and you're the ones that make us look good. You make it quite a joy to be sitting up here today. And I don't feel like I'm in the hot seat at all. I feel like I'm accepting the fruits of your labor. At this time, though, we need a motion to accept the report as presented by Dr. Henry and his team.
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Blackmore will make the motion, and Ms. Rogers has seconded it. Any discussion? Then all those in favor, please signify. Mr. Holden, you're on the phone. How do you vote? All right, then it is unanimous then. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say. Do you have any remarks?
I do.
That is just awesome. I am so proud. I want to do a couple of formalities, and then I want to issue a challenge as we move forward. But Dr. Henry, thank you. I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate your guidance. I feel like we've known each other for a year, maybe a year and a half. I appreciate it, team. Thank you so much for being with us and sharing with us and issuing the challenges and acknowledging the hard work. I just appreciate what you guys have done for us this week. I want to thank the leadership that's in this room. I appreciate you very much. I want to make sure that we appropriately and significantly acknowledge the work that takes place on the front lines in the classrooms every single day by thanking our teachers, who are some of the most outstanding in the world. Let's give our teachers we have the best students in the world. What validation it is to hear someone from across the country come here and say not only did he and they see and hear student-centered, but that it permeated through the practice in the classrooms. And that speaks to the students that we serve and the dedication that our folks has to them. I want to thank our school board because they make all of this possible. And I know that sometimes you see a board meeting and you think that it just happens, and that's not how it works. These folks work very very hard on our behalf to support us, and they do lots of work before a board meeting. As a matter of fact, most of the work is done in terms of committees and discussions and all of that. In the board meetings, they come and they work, and I just appreciate them so much because we could not do this without a supportive school board. They make it possible for us to do this. And I am just standing before you today humbled and proud of this school district. I appreciate each and every one of you. I think that we are taping this, right? I want our teachers to know, which camera? I want our teachers to know how much we appreciate them and their hard work. Principals, I want you to know how much we appreciate your leadership. Support staff, bus drivers, cafeteria, custodians, everybody that goes in, that comes into our school system that makes this possible. This is a special place. This is a special place, and we can take this today and we can be proud, but we've got work to do. We know that we've got work to do, and our kids deserve our dead level best every single day. And I'm so proud, and I want us to celebrate, but I want us to focus on getting even better with each passing day, because that's what our children deserve. That is our purpose. That is why we're here. That's why we say, and we call ourselves student-centered, we're here for kids. What should we do for kids? What's the right thing to do for kids? So today is a validation of being on the right track. Not that we've arrived. It's a validation of being on the right track. We accept your challenges, and we affirm to you that we will address the challenges that you've issued to us and strive to be even better the next time that you come and visit us. Once again, thank you all for everything that you do on a daily basis. We pray for safe travels for our new friends. Thank you all.